Welcome back, investors, to Ticker Time News. I'm Adam, and this is a very special week for investors. For starters, it's a short week as U.S. markets will be closed Thursday for Thanksgiving, and Friday will be a short session closing at 1 p.m. Eastern. Historically speaking, though, the S&P 500 is up 75% of the time this week during Thanksgiving, and for an average gain of 0.6%, dating back to 1945. However, in years when the market is already up 10% or more, just like this year, Thanksgiving week is even stronger, gaining nearly 0.8% on average. One more historical fun fact. On Cyber Monday, the market has been green 71% of the time. The historical data also suggests these green days in the market help to set up a year-end Santa rally, like the one we had in last December. Okay, the big news for the markets this week could be President Biden's choice for Fed chief. I'd expect market volatility around the appointment, especially if there's leadership change. Okay, let me hold myself accountable real quick for my calls from last week. Remember, this Catalyst Watch video, it's the biggest video I do all week, the most important video I do all week. It's where I share with you what's going on this week, what I'm watching, why I'm watching, and what I'm watching for. And then I hold myself accountable the following week. Did I make good calls or not? So this week, or I should say last week, was a big week for retail. And I picked Target over Walmart. Now, Target was down 3.58%, and Walmart was down 3.63% for the week. They both lost, but Target did lose less. Then I picked Home Depot over Lowe's. Home Depot was up 9.68%, and Lowe's was up 5.59% for the week. Both were up, with Home Depot up more. With Oatly Group, ticker symbol OTLY, I said to stay away from that stock, and it was down 15.2% for the week. With Lucid Motors, ticker symbol LCID, I called a 14.3% swing from earnings, and Lucid shorted move more than my 14%, 23.7% to the upside for earnings. Now, I did miss on Advanced Auto Parts, ticker symbol AAP. They were down 3.78% for the week. So overall, we had a really good week. How about you? How did you do last week? Okay, let's move on to what's happening this week in this short holiday week. We've been talking about the EV market for 2 weeks or longer now, right? And the continued volatility in stocks like Rivian, ticker symbol RIVN, Lucid, LCID, Tesla, TSLA, Canoo, GOEV, and my favorite, Aurora Innovation, ticker symbol AUR, will continue this week too. There's no doubt about it. But we also get earnings from XPeng, ticker symbol XPEV, on Tuesday, and that could help to electrify the EV market. Okay, moving on now to Monday, November 22nd. We've got a big one. Zoom Video Communications, ticker symbol ZM. Now, I think Zoom could be a big surprise for Monday when they report their Q3 earnings. Now, looking at the stock chart, you would not think that. This is a daily view on the stock chart, and this stock has just been beaten up for the past year. Look at that. Okay, now here's what I think about Zoom. All right, they report their Q3 2021 earnings report with an estimated EPS of $1.09, with revenue of $1.02 billion. Analyst average price target, though, is $347 a share. Right now, Zoom is trading at $251 a share. That's a pretty big difference. And analysts are also bullish on the stock. But why? This stock has been beaten down for the past year. I'm also sitting on the bullish to maybe neutral, kind of in between there on Zoom right now. And I'll tell you why. But first, the earnings report for Zoom. This earnings report is pivotal for Zoom. Zoom is down over 27% from its last earnings, and Zoom needs to convince investors the post-pandemic growth story is strong. It has gone through an incredible business cycle in such a short period of time. If it wasn't for the pandemic, we may not even know about Zoom right now. Look, Zoom was one of the hottest stocks during 2020 with incredible growth and still has a load of cash on hand from that growth. But the stock peaked in October of last year in 2020. So, what is Zoom doing or going to do next? What's it doing with that cash? Is it looking for M&A to grow verticals? Let's think about this for just a moment. Zoom competitor Cisco Systems. I know they got beat down last week from earnings, but there was one particular thing that they said that was very interesting and very telling. They said on its earnings call last week about virtual meetings. And remember, Cisco Systems, they're the owner of WebEx, which does a lot of video conferencing for Fortune 500 big companies, right? And it's similar to a Zoom meeting. Well, Cisco experienced the strongest demand in over a decade as customers increased their investments in digital transformation. Enabling employees to work from anywhere has become a key part of the transformation, and making that project functional encompasses a broader assortment of needs than operating meetings through the company's WebEx solutions. Networking, security, collaboration tools all play a role in remote work circumstances. Is that what Zoom is seeing too? And if so, are they working to provide such solutions? Look, Zoom stock, I keep saying it, it has been beaten down for over a year now. And I don't blame you for shaking your head and telling me, why are you talking about this stock, Adam? Even me, Kevin, would be shaking his head. But if they can show a future where it has reached a bottom of sorts for growth slowing down and is now facing permanent trends favoring video communication in the cloud, not to mention the whole metaverse of it all, then Zoom can drive steady growth through adoption as employees continue to change their behavior to look not at the desktop phone as a way of primary communication, but as video. And that is where Zoom can benefit the most. And if Zoom is benefiting, then investors will follow. Looking at the chart for Zoom, it has an interesting setup and is ready to move. Look at this. As I zoom in, this is the daily chart again. As I zoom in here, let me bring it into a little better focus. Okay, here at the bottom, it's a little difficult to see. That makes it a little better. There are two green lines creating a symmetrical triangle. One here at the bottom and one going from the top and going down to the right there. That's on the top. That's the resistance. The price for Zoom is starting to get squeezed. And as that happens, right now, we could be seeing a bottom for Zoom, where Zoom comes out and has favorable earnings, and the chart pattern sets up a move to the upside. That's a possibility. And that's one that I'm watching very closely. Okay, next one up, reporting earnings on Monday is Urban Outfitters. Ticker symbol is URBN. Let the chart load there for you so you can see this too. They're up above their 200-day moving average. They just popped out of this symmetrical triangle here. They have been in a rally throughout October and parts of November, especially when the news came out last week about the retail sales report. There was one day where it moved quite a bit, right? Okay, so Urban Outfitters, earnings on Monday. With their earnings, they have an estimated EPS of 84 cents and revenue of $1.2 billion. Analyst average price target is $43 a share, which is about a 20% upside with a bullish rating. So why are they bullish on Urban Outfitters? Well, partly due to the retail report that came out last week, showing how the upcoming season and how retail has been strong and it's going to continue to be strong. But I'm also feeling a little bullish on Urban Outfitters as well because of the whole retail outlook, like I just said, the whole retail sector. But Urban Outfitters will benefit from the fashion cycle and its on-trend products as consumers shift back to apparel. Now, looking at the chart, it's clearly overbought. If we look at the RSI there at the bottom, it is sitting at right now 66.21. 70 and above is severely overbought, right? That's when you want to be very cautious. It's at a very high point. So it's just under that mark by 3.8 points, right? Okay. So that could provide somewhat of a lid on how far the stock can move. I'm leaning towards a move maybe like Target of last week, where it had a beautiful run up. Earnings was great, but maybe it was already priced in. It's a possibility to watch. Another possibility to watch is it is not at its peak yet. Let me fix the chart. If you see, there are two blue lines further up above the candles right here. One is at $40 and one is at $42. Remember, analysts have an average price target of $42. So it does have room to run if it wants to. And the earnings report with guidance, remember, guidance is just as important, will help to potentially move this one along. Now, on the economic front, we also get the existing home sales data on Monday. Now, that could help or hurt or stall housing related stocks, potentially. Sometimes it doesn't have a huge effect, but analysts are predicting that it may be down and softening some, which the housing market right now is contracting a little bit. It's contracting more in certain areas for sure. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday, November 23rd. And we have potentially one of the biggest movers of the week. That's Dick's Sporting Good. Ticker symbol is DKS. When you look at this chart, this is a chart you would want to see for any stock you are holding. Look at that. That is beautiful. Up and to the right. Now, they recently pumped way up. There was a huge gap up from their last earnings. Then it came back down. It formed a symmetrical triangle still within its trading channel, and it has been moving up ever since. So why do I think they could be a big mover on Tuesday? Well, DKS has an estimated EPS of $2.01 with sales of nearly $2.5 billion. Guidance should be on show for DKS as they announce what will potentially be the largest number of seasonal associates the company has ever hired in its history for the 2021 holiday season. If they are truly hiring all of these people, then that shows business is strong. DKS has been making investments over the past 4 years in omni-channel capabilities to modernize its business model and has also made changes to the margin structure that are leading to higher profitability. And if you're looking at DKS as a long-term buy and hold type of company, then you have to also account for DKS's tremendous dividend growth. Last quarter, DKS gave a special dividend of $5.50 per share, all because of DKS's blowout quarter last time around, and could easily repeat this time. But the stock, like I said, has recently broken out of a symmetrical triangle and is reaching the top of its trading channel. RSI has been climbing and currently sits at 65.74, which is just about overbought. Remember, 70 and above. That's the really overbought area. So there's still room for growth. Okay. Moving on from DKS, we have Best Buy. BBY is the ticker symbol for Best Buy. Okay, for Best Buy, look at this chart. October was the launching pad of the rocket going to the moon for Best Buy. Look at that. It broke out of a trading channel that it was in all year, including parts of last year, October, November, and December. It has just been bouncing up and down, moving sideways until October of this year. So there is a lot that Best Buy can produce. Now, their earnings estimate, their EPS is $1.96 with revenue of $11.62 billion. Analyst price target is $132 a share with a bullish rating. Now, $132 a share as their average price target, and Best Buy is sitting at $136. Now, this stock has been on fire since October 1st. So when you're trading Best Buy around earnings this week, watch for a sell the news attitude, okay? With this stock moving so fast, so far, and it's right at price targets, then it is very possible good earnings means profit taking, and bad earnings means a sellout back down to its trading channel. Okay. Now, there's a big event coming up in Milan this week. And what does Milan have to do with the US markets? Well, the Milan Motorcycle Show begins on Tuesday amid an increase in interest over potential electric vehicle announcements. Yes, electric vehicles and motorcycles in the same sentence. Harley-Davidson, ticker symbol HOG, H-O-G, it's on your screen right now, is expected to use the event to highlight the European launch of its company's updated Livewire brand. And its chart setup is just waiting for a big announcement to break out. Look at this symmetrical triangle. The price is tightening up. There is a nexus point forming, and it's ready to burst. It just needs the spark to set it off. Could the announcement being made this week at the Milan motorcycle show be the spark? Well, we'll have to pay attention to the news to find out if it will be. But it's on my radar for sure, and it can definitely move. Kawasaki is expected to unveil its fully electric motorcycle, but the biggest winner could be NIU Technologies. Ticker symbol is NIU. Look at the chart here. This stock has been trading down all year. But when you put it into perspective like this, you can see something is about to happen. Now, NIU Technologies, they have also teased a big announcement. And with earnings on Monday, its stock chart setup could pay off for the entire week. Now, their expected EPS is 28 cents with revenue of $214 million. Now, within the EV sector, NIU trades with one of the biggest discounts to the average analyst price target, which is $42 a share right now. That represents a 76% upside. This could be the one of the biggest movers this week, and one I'm watching very closely for earnings and news. Will you be watching NIU too? Let me know in the comments. That chart setup, like Harley-Davidson, is screaming for a burst. Something to spark it and set it off. It could be earnings. It could be news for NIU Technologies this week. Okay, moving on to Wednesday, November 4th, the last full day of trading for this week. Deere, John Deere, ticker symbol is DE. Deere and Company. They have an earnings estimate EPS of $3.87 and revenue of $10.57 billion. Analysts have a price target of $399 a share with a bullish rating. Now, Deere has been in the news lately because the UAW went on strike, but as November 17th, Deere and the UAW reached a deal to end the strike. Now, Deere will benefit from the infrastructure bill in Congress right now. Sometimes I find interesting things about Deere's symmetrical triangle that it's in right now. With many price targets at or above $400 a share, that gives Deere a 15% upside. With the strike over at Deere, its guidance may help to propel the stock higher. However, with the strike that has already happened, that may have hurt this quarter's results. So I'm not expecting anything big from Deere from earnings this week. Just remember, when the workers were on strike, Deere is not manufacturing anything. Nothing. Not a single tractor, not a single mower, not a single piece of equipment, right? That will hurt their revenue. So I do expect to see a dent in revenue because of the strike. But with the strike worked out, now Deere's got a big backlog that will help them for the following quarter. And that's the quarter I think Deere will have the biggest impact, because the infrastructure bill, whatever it turns out to be, whatever's in it, will benefit Deere in one way, shape, or form. And that will be passed. Okay. Also, I've gotten a lot of requests for this company, so I will talk about it. It's not one that I am invested in or following at the moment, and that's Nano Dimension. But since I've gotten so many requests for this ticker symbol, I will talk about it. and I'll let you know just a couple quick things here about it. Now, as you can see on the chart, this thing, wow, it had a humongous run up in January. But since it's lost favor and it's kind of been price bound here until recently, November 11th, it broke this support line that it had, and now it's searching for a new bottom. Where will that bottom be? I don't know. But they do have earnings on Wednesday, and they're not just sitting around doing nothing. No, Nano Dimensions has been working on new products like its Dragonfly 4 printer and Flight software platform. What else could it do? I don't know. I don't think it's one that is going to give you a 10%, 20% run or anything crazy like that. I just think it's trying to find a bottom now, and it's not sure where that bottom is going to be. But it is producing new products, so we'll see what the earnings say. Maybe I'll talk about it on a live show this week after their earnings have come out. But that's it for Nano Dimensions right now. And quite frankly, there's not even price targets that I could find for Nano Dimensions. So there's no analyst covering it that I could find. But it is an interesting company. It's 3D printing. Okay, on the economic front, though, there is a little bit of data coming out on Wednesday. For example, the initial jobless claims. That always affects the market. We also get real GDP numbers. That'll be the second update for the year. That will be interesting to see whether or not the economy is growing. That could affect the market. We have consumer sentiment. We have new home sales. We have personal income and spending, which includes the inflation measure most watched by the Federal Reserve. So that will be interesting. And then to kind of wind things down, because it's a short week, so this is a short video, the Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping period will have a bit of a different look this year, with more than 2 million people estimated to go shopping over the 3-day weekend, despite retailers starting their promotions earlier than ever before in most cases. But the National Retail Federation forecasts holiday sales during November and December will grow between 8.5% and 10.5% to between $843.4 billion and $859 billion. This will help companies like Macy's, who just, blew it out of the park with their last earnings, Kohl's, which is ticker symbol KSS, Bed Bath & Beyond, BBY, 3 Bs there, which have had nice chart setups. Target, TGT, among others, will do really well from this holiday shopping season. But that won't really take effect on the stock price until December, excuse me. Then you have, of course, the cyber stocks like Amazon, AMZN, Etsy, ETSY, and Shopify, Shop, S-H-O-P. Well, that kind of wraps it up for what I'm watching this week and what catalysts I think could have the biggest impact. What about you? What catalyst are you watching this week? What companies are you watching this week? And more importantly than that, why are you watching them? That's the real question to answer, right? We want to know the why, because that'll help us to understand what could or could not happen with the stock. Okay. Remember, your comments make these videos so much better. So let me know in the comments what you think. And if you found this video helpful, informative, actionable, then click the like button, share this video, It comes out every Sunday evening. And click the first link in the description to help support our research, analysis, technical breakdowns by becoming a Patreon member today. Lastly, every day the market is open, I'm here for the After Hours show, starting about 5 p.m. Eastern, to talk about what moved the markets, stocks, crypto, but most importantly, your requested ticker symbols. Well, that's all for this Catalyst Watch. It's a short week. I hope you have a good time trading this week, and I hope you have a good holiday break coming up. And I'll see you Monday afternoon or Monday evening, somewhere between there, right? Around 5 p.m. to talk about the markets. So thank you, everyone, for watching. And I appreciate. Hello, Devin. How are you this evening? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up the stream for tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the After Hours show. Thank you, everyone, so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.